So guys, Dark 3 of the Part Dimension. Just listen to it. Now here's my explanation, which is going to make total sense. One more lead left to go. After this episode, I have no personal clue where on earth this episode is going to end. But it's been a fun ride, and I suggest you guys actually check out the YouTube channel, Pharos Features. There'll be a link down in the description if you actually did want to discover it for yourself and ignore this review. But to be fair, it's me. Don't ignore me. Alas, let's carry on with the review. So, previous episode ended with the with Colin Baker's Doctor and Gallifrey during a trial with the Ice Warriors, and it basically got resolved. But now Ace is there trying to get Colin Baker's Doctor to help her go to 1999. To stop the temporal rifts occurring because of Hawkspur, our main villain. So our episode actually begins with their conversation, but upon starting the conversation, we know that Colin's Doctor immediately sort of recognises Ace, but that's the weird thing, because Ace is from the Doctor's future. And so as to how this temporal occurrence happens, sadly doesn't get explained. Maybe next week's episode might have that answer, please. But that's that. So they have the talk. Ace fills the Doctor in, or Colin Baker in, about what's going on, and the Doctor reluctantly agrees. They leave Gallifrey, get in TARDIS, and land on 1999 Earth. But before they step outside the doors, Colin explains to Ace that he don't want to have a role. He's he's sort of getting a bit old and wearing a bit thin. No, he just doesn't want to interfere. He doesn't want to run into his past selves. He don't want to cause any more temporal anomalies throughout time and space and all that sort of shenanigans, which sadly we humans won't understand. But alas, I find it annoying that Colin wasn't in this episode enough, or even in this story. Hopefully, come back, Colin, come back. I feel like you're lying to us. He will interfere in next week's episode for sure, hopefully. But alas, Colin buggers off and leaves Ace outside the Hawkspur estate, the manor, so to speak. So Ace can basically assassinate him before he conceives this evil plan. So Ace is with a couple of Miss Summerfield's, like, resistance. Yeah, fuck it, I'll call them resistance. I don't remember none of their names. They're secondary characters. They only have very few lines of dialogue, so bear with. So Ace basically wants to go through the back door. The front door's guarded. But by what? Back door's open. They want to go through the back door. As they approach it and walk in, Cybermen appear out of nowhere with their 80s guns and, destroy them at once type voices. So then they decide to go on a bloody long jogger. Except that, fair bloody long jogger, it weren't really that far, because then they escape the Cybermen and they see what looks like waiters. There's like a hidden side entrance down a couple blocks away from the actual manor, which is a bit weird. And they decide, or Ace decides to basically just disguise as a waiter and get her in, while the Resistance think it's too risky, and they basically leave her to get on with it. Ace does that. All she does is basically goes up to the waiter and says, there was an accident down the main road, I came here by bus, basically late for my shift. She does the whole work experience thing as an excuse, and it lets her in. And that's where Ace's story concludes. That's all we get. But so the main meat of this episode revolves around Tom Baker and Bernice Summerfield underground in London's catacombs in 1936, where basically last episode ended with them finding a cocoon, and in this cocoon was Hawkspur from the future, from part 1, using that time rift cannon thing, and basically sent him down in this cocoon. Alas, the Doctor decides to disconnect the cables that are powering this cocoon structure, and as he does that, one of the Resistance guys, Flemings, gets exterminated. No, it's not by the Sontarans, it's obviously the Daleks. Duh. Hawkspur appears out of nowhere with the Daleks and basically says, "Oh no, Doctor, you think you could just walk in halfway through the story and get rid of me for good, eh? So then he does the evil villain spiel, basically they walk around in the catacombs and basically explains to him his evil plan, and sort of reveals to the Doctor that he's got his strands of Doctor's DNA, and that's what's kind of making this whole thing happen. That's why these Daleks aren't just normal Daleks. They're sort of they are essentially from the Doctor's DNA and Hawkspur's sort of future occurrences, like his anomalies, but they're powered by the Doctor's DNA, so they're kind of like his own Daleks. They're not the usual canon Daleks. These are just his own Daleks, which is quite interesting. And then that's how the Cybermen are sort of interfering as well, because they're just using this time corridor, which is powered by the Doctor's DNA. So the Doctor knows all about this, and he decides to come up with a clever distraction and basically escape. And he does just that. He escapes. Him and Bernice are on the run, essentially, for most of the episode. And like I say, during the meanwhile, this is where we get some scenes of Colin. We get some scenes. Well, we even get a scene, like an evil monologue. Hawkspur. So the reason why, the reason why Ace is going to this estate, in 1999, in the estate, Hawkspur in the 90s is planning this speech. You know, he's having a house party essentially, and he's gonna, because he's the Prime Minister, so he's just trying to address his public and his adoring nation. You know, from his 10 Downing Street estate sort of party thing. But in this party, he's got this device that will activate his so-called plan called the Incursion. Original name, I know. So that's why Ace has got to get in there and stop him from making this speech. But alas, get back to the story. So yeah, Tom basically, they split up from Hawkspur, they run away, the Daleks are chasing them down the catacombs, all underground this episode, and then they find this, space temporal rift, space controlled time rift, or something along those lines. I called it dimensional anomaly before, but I was completely wrong. And that's when the Doctor finds this machine, which is powering everything that's going on, and like the Doctor being the Doctor, basically, you know, he figures out how to turn it off, and you know, it all seems to be good. But then more Daleks and Cybermen turn up essentially, and then it's like a proper dun dun. What's going to happen next type of cliffhanger? And all of a sudden we hear another TARDIS appear, spawns in, and all we hear is, "Yeah, it's jolly good fellow. Oh, what are we going to do here? It's basically John Pertwee." That was the only thing I was looking forward to, or sort of roast a bit more. I wanted a bit more of Davison's weird Pertwee Doctor hybrid thing, but he's now out of the story completely, because we now got the actual John Pertwee here from the dead. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the end of part 3. And yeah, that is actually how it ends. John Pertwee just appears, dun dun dun. So it's all got to end in the next episode. Quite frankly, I'm really enjoying it. I'm sure I'm just rushing through it, and I'm trying to, like, not spoiler free at this time, but again, it wasn't a lot that actually happened this episode. It was quite easy to break down. But alas, this story's been a thrill ride, and I can't actually wait to see how it ends, because I can't predict it. So I suggest, guys, you honestly should just check out Pharos Features. Again, link in the description. Obviously, watch part 1, 2, then 3. You can't watch it in reverse. It would make no sense. Time don't work like that, my friends. But alas, if you've enjoyed this video, leave a like. I think we're currently at, like, what, 228. I'm just making random numbers up because we keep gaining subscribers and then losing. But please, we just want upwards. We don't want to lose people. We just want to keep going. So, guys, if you've enjoyed this video, please hit the like button. Just smash the like button. Share the videos. Just click the subscribe button. We just want to keep going onwards and upwards, man. It's 2021. Come on. Alas, stay pasty, y'all.